So hi all. So today we are discussing about how to find out if a Scrum Master is experienced or has only bookish knowledge based on the type of answers they give. So we thought, myself and Bratati, we thought we'll pair up for this exercise, and we thought of coming up with a role play like thing. We'll be giving answers from new Scrum Master perspective and experienced Scrum Master perspective for about 4-5 questions. And probably towards the end, we'll just let you know what kind of answers are like anti-patterns, which the interviewer may not like, or it will give away that you don't have experience. Yeah, Bratati, you want to add anything more?
Yeah, that's what we'll do a kind of role play here. So we have chose like 4 questions and we'll be answering them. And I will give answer from an inexperienced or new Scrum Master perspective, and Apurva will give it as an experienced one. So yeah, we can get started with it. Yeah.
Okay, the first question, how do you know your team is mature?
Okay, so I would like to go first. So from my perspective, we have to see that if team is able to complete their all the activities what they have committed for the particular sprint or for a particular release, basically they are able to deliver the value to the customer properly or not, and also able to meet the sprint goal. Okay. And we have two more very important things is the definition of ready and definition of done. So whether team is able to able to complete those things, and also like what to say, they are able to meet their velocity. Suppose they have like from past 3 sprint, the average velocity is 80 and they are continuing still doing that, or somehow they are able to increase little a bit. If they are increase a little a bit means they are doing good. Okay. And also like they as a Scrum Master, you have to understand whether your team is able to understand that what are the important ceremonies are there. Okay. And they are attending all those ceremonies, and all the ceremonies is they are able to complete those within the time box. So these are all the things you can probably consider. You can observe that your team is doing properly. And also you have to check the sprint burn down chart or release burn down chart. You can go through that, and from that trends, you can able to understand that the team is burning down their efforts properly daily basis. So yeah, these are all the few points we can add when we wanted to observe that whether your team is mature or not.
Thanks, Pratati. So for the same question, if it is an experienced Scrum Master, I'll try to give it a shot. So I would like to say that first I would like to have a pulse of my team's morale. When I mean by morale, are they happy? Do they trust each other? And do they feel that they have the required autonomy to implement something, some new ideas which they get? Are they getting micromanaged, or are they pressurized? Are they feeling like concealing if something goes wrong? They don't want to tell the Scrum Master or the senior management. Are they in that mode? So that would definitely tell me if they are going in the agile way. Like, are they practicing agile in its not just calling themselves agile just because they're doing ceremonies, in its true sense. So do they have those qualities? I would be checking first. Then I would check on the impediments. So as a Scrum Master, my role is to make the team as much independent as possible, as much self-organized as possible. So when it comes to impediment removal, I would probably see if they are coming running to me for every small thing, even some repetitive impediments, some they need to connect with any third party for some response in things like that, which they are even having every day. They know whom to contact with, but still they're not ready to do that. They want you to do the facilitation. Is it that kind, or a team is matured and they know how to handle most of the impediments themselves? I would check on that. And thirdly, silently, I would see if something is eating into their productive time. Say like some ad hoc requests for them from senior management, or some ops issues, something gets down all the time. They are wasting time in some useless activity, which I can probably pick up and highlight to whichever team required to help them out and take it out of their queue. So I'll try to do that. And lastly, I will just check on the continuous improvements. Is team coming up with a lot of continuous improvements, automations, anything which helps to improve the process? Do they have the bandwidth to do that? And are they well motivated to do it also? So these kind of factors I would consider to see if that and tell if a team is matured or not.
Yeah.
Okay,
Great.
Bradati, we'll go to the next question then.
Yeah, sure.
How do you conduct the retro? Looks like a straightforward question, but yeah, we thought we'll just take this.
Okay. So from as a new Scrum Master perspective, firstly, definitely I'll encourage every one of my team member about the importance of the retro, so that in whenever you are scheduling the retro call, they should join, because it is one of the most important ceremony in among all ceremonies of in the Scrum, right? And yeah, so first I would like to send the invitation to all of my team, providing the agenda for the retro call, and would like to use some of the technique for a retrospective call. Suppose we can go for like what went well, what didn't go well, what needs improvement, and some of the action action plan we can have. So also one more technique we can use, which could be the MAD, then GLAD, SAD. This technique also we can use. So for example, in MAD, the few example, if the team is new, I need to introduce that thing to the team, like what is the technique is all about. Suppose MAD, GLAD, SAD. If you want to start this technique with your team, then we need to guide, right? So like you can give some of the example to a team, like in MAD, they can have one more point, like they can add why there are too many meetings. Someone can say that, okay. Also, a stand up not starting on time every day. So these are all can come under MAD. So, and in GLAD section, suppose sprint review meeting was it's went very smoothly for them. They got good feedback from the customer in the review meeting. Okay. And also you might need to praise someone in your teammates, like completing the task on time, or taking the difficult task and able to complete that within the time. So this can be added in the GLAD section. Now, next point is in the SAT section, you can have, if it is you're working in a support team, right? So you can just have a pointer here, like why there are so many tickets coming up all of a sudden, why there are so much of escalation on the tickets. So these are all come under SAT. So in this way, probably I can coach the team first, and I can encourage the team to come to the retro, and we can have a smooth retro call over here.
Thanks, Paddati.
Okay.
So from an experienced Scrum Master perspective, probably if we have to answer, I would start off with the action items which we took over from the last retrospective. We'll go through the action items, what we pointed out last time, what were the actions taken on them, where are we with respect to that. By doing this activity, we can make the team feel that this particular ceremony is value adding to them. It's not a waste of time. So they will get to understand that, and they'll also have that feeling that yes, if we take some action items to our Scrum Master, they can be rest assured that we are working on it, we are acting on it. Okay, so that is the first thing I would do. Then coming to the techniques, as Pratiti just mentioned, there are a lot of techniques which you can take over in a retrospective. But after some time, when the team is matured, if they're feeling it's very monotonous to attend the retro sprint on sprint, maybe I'll try some innovative techniques like the three pigs technique. Like that's a part of the nursery rhymes, where the three pigs enter the straw house, the wooden house, and the brick house. So we can say the straw house is the most vulnerable. So what can go wrong, highly go wrong, that kind of view. And the wooden house, it's like, okay, you're on the fence. It can go wrong, but this time it was kind of okay. And what are your strengths? That is the brick house. So this kind of retrospective technique, if it looks novel and fresh to people, they may want to contribute more on those lines. Other than that, you need to mainly make the team feel that it's a value adding exercise, as I just mentioned. And definitely we need to take the action items and act on it. Only then it makes any sense to have the retro. So that's my take on this question.
Good points, Apurva. Thank you.
Thank you. Going on to the next one. How do you know you are doing a good job?
Yeah. Okay. So from new Scrum Master perspective, I would like to add a few points here. Like I would like to make sure that all the ceremonies are happening inside the Scrum team, and they are like they are attending it on daily basis. They are not feeling that it's a bored kind of thing, and they are doing it by themselves, like whichever is like daily stand-up call. They are taking the responsibility and they are doing it. Okay. So as a Scrum Master, it is your you can measure your success that yeah, all of the things is happening on time in your team. Okay. And also you are able to solve all the impediments, whatever you are getting from your team. Okay. And also they are able to deliver the value to the customer successfully, means it is also in a way your success only, I could consider. So these are all some parameters I can point it out here. Yeah.
Thanks, Pratiti. So from a experienced Scrum Master perspective, what I would like to say is to see if I am doing my job well, it directly reflects on the team, on how independent they are, or how much you are not required for them. Making them as independent as possible shows that you have done a good job. Basically, it's not the other way around, that you are interfering everywhere and trying to handhold them or make decisions for them. That is actually an anti-pattern. They look up to you like a parent kind of role. That's not what is required. You are a coach. Have you facilitated them to become independent? That's what we need to look for. So from that perspective, I'll be checking if a team is able to pull items from the sprint backlog and start working on them independently, or pull in the items from the product backlog to the sprint backlog, which makes logical sense. Are they able to estimate accurately, and they're able to stick to the estimates, and are they able to reach the sprint goal and deliver value at the end of the sprint? That is a working increment. Is it coming out sprint on sprint? And as I already mentioned earlier, impediments, most impediments are they trying to solve by themselves than coming up and running to you for everything. And whenever they're in a problem, they're looking up to me to make a decision, or they're discussing among themselves and coming up with a solution, or they're just looking up to you for some facilitation, which stage they are in. That way I can measure my performance. And last but not the least, this is a coach like role also. It's not just coming to only professional matters, your sprint completion. It's not just that. People should be happy and open to share their personal front things also with you. They should be able to look up to you and able to crib with you, cry on your shoulder. That kind of open-mindedness and open-heartedness do they have with you. That kind of gelling and comfort feeling is there for them with you. Then it's a really good call. I can remember one from my experience. One of my teammates, they were wanting to move out of the organization. So definitely out of my team also. So he came back to me asking for tips on how to prepare for an interview, how to move out, which is a better organization and all. Maybe if I was of more managerial category, he wouldn't have got that courage to come and speak like that. But because I was more friendly and I was coaching him like a friend, he was okay to even open up these kind of things, which they normally don't do with their peers at that point in time. But anyway, at that, it's not that he moved out. I was able to again coach him well, and he's still continuing in the organization. That's okay. But they should be able to open up just the way they do with kind of family members, I can say. Not fully, but kind of, I can say that. So that's when I feel that I am doing my job well. Okay, we're going to the last question for today's session. This is a scenario. Customers come back and tell us that there are a lot of defects which are getting unearthed when there is just one more week for the Big Bang go live. What can you do at that point as a Scrum Master? Over to you, Pratati.
Yeah. So here from as a new Scrum Master perspective, probably I can schedule when I get this information from the BA or the product owner that there are lots of defects. So definitely I'll try to schedule a call with all of the team members. It can be a defect triage call, and where a team I have to facilitate the call in such a way that team able to understand that what are the defect that is happening right now, and what is the timeline they have given we have got from the business, and how they are going to work towards it. And also would like to go to business and tell them that yeah, we have taken this ownership, and we will be try to complete those defects as soon as possible, because within 1 week we have the go live, right? So, and for next 1 week, I would like to check on the team, like how they are progressing. If any call is needed, any other defect triage call or clarification call with the BAs, probably I can schedule those things. And yeah, this is how I can convince the business, and also can work with the team to complete those on time.
Thanks, Pratati. So from an experienced Scrum Master perspective, what I would try to do is try to understand how the sprint reviews for the last few sprints went. Were this required stakeholders part of the meetings? Have they given their feedbacks? Are those feedbacks incorporated in the code, and have they signed it off? And give me a second. Sorry. Yeah. So, and then I would like to go back to the previous retrospectives also and see if the team has already highlighted some blockers or challenges which may come up in upcoming days, which was not addressed on time. And then I would do probably a little of coaching to the customers also, trying to remind them that we are in the agile framework and not the normal waterfall type. So in the agile way, we are actually collaborating with each other. There has to be transparency and collaboration. That's the various pillars of agile. So pushing the blame game on each other, and they telling that we didn't solve the issues, or we telling them they didn't give the review comments on time, it's not going to help at all. As a team, we are facing an issue. Let us all accept that now, and then say that, okay, fine, we know that we are facing a problem. Together, collaboratively, let us come up with a solution. I would then sit with my team and try to understand how many defects are there. Will we be able to close them in a week? If not, what is the plan? Are they facing any blockers? Then I would go back to the customer and transparently tell them, no, this is not going to work in a week's time. Either you have to decide to go ahead, go live with limited capabilities and some open bugs, or try to push your go live if possible. So you try to take the collaborative approach. I would not take the blame completely on myself, because there must have been gaps from everybody, and we have to also solve it as a team. That would be my take as a experienced Scrum Master here. So in a nutshell, from all these explanations and scenarios, what we have just given to you all, just few things which we want to bring out or highlight as anti-patterns, which people or the interviewer may not be expecting from you, is some generalized words like coaching, facilitation, and time boxing, following the ceremonies and things like that.
Goal.
So that is one. You want to add, Pratiti? Please go ahead.
Yeah, same thing. Like meeting the sprint goal, adding value to the customer. These are all very bookish thing that anyone can get it right. If they Google it, they will definitely able to get these words, and repetitive words they are using again and again for.
True. Yeah. And also, like taking the blame on us, or saying that we are responsible for something, or even taking decisions on part of from the team's perspective. I assigned some tasks to them, or I solved their impediments. I ensure that this happens. This is very traditional managerial approach. That's not the kind of answers the interviewers will be expecting from you. It should be facilitation and coaching, but you don't tell that explicitly. From the type of answer you're giving, it has to infer that you are facilitating and not taking everything on yourself. Yeah, so that is one perspective. Any other anti-pattern you find, Pratiti?
Mostly in real-time scenario-based question, you probably ask to catch an inexperienced Scrum Master, and also not the direct basic. You can make some, some twisted basic, I could say. Like you can probably show them some burn down chart or burn up chart, for example, and ask them that what do you feel regarding this particular burn down chart? Why there is no spike in between. So many burn down charts is available, and we can ask them that why this trend is going like this and all. So if you have experience, past experience, then probably you'll be able to answer it. But if you're new Scrum Master, they definitely they need some time to understand, and they might take some time to answer that thing. So yeah,
so basically you have to give an answer in such a way that you know the basics, but you are not just restrained there. You are applying it in your team also. You are opening up, and mostly try to give some examples from your own experience. Just telling from the books or from Google, they'll feel it's bookish. Try to give some real world examples. You may have experienced yourself, or you may have seen your fellow Scrum Masters experience. It doesn't matter. They need to know that you have gone through the process. It's not just learning that. So that's what we wanted to convey today. Hope we gave you all a good session. Thanks for giving us this opportunity.
Thank you. Yeah,
bye.